what ID they want.
And we are live.
Just enter my something ID.
Go ahead.
Today, June 16th, 2020, call to order and acknowledgement that the press and the public have been duly notified of the meeting in accordance with the Freedom of Information Act. We'll move on to number 2, approval of previous meetings minutes.
You need one of these millennium types to help you figure it out.
Was that approved?
Somebody make a motion to approve?
Second.
Okay.
To make
Well,
a motion?
who made the motion?
I'll just move over there.
I'm going to say that Ms. Haney, you made the motion, and was that Mr. Williamson that you seconded the motion?
Yes.
Okay, I'll do that. And does anybody have any objections or changes to the minutes? If all are in favor of the minutes being approved as presented, say aye.
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 Any opposed? Very good. All in favor? And the next
Aye.
item on the agenda is?
Citizens' comments. Do we have any citizens?
We did not have any citizens' comments in the online forum, and I did not receive any emails.
Okay, moving on. Financial statements with Debbie Suggs.
All right. Hello, everybody. First of all, I'm going to talk about the May 2020 financial statements. And I think Ron is going to, yeah, perfect. So as far as our cash position, 69,000 at the local BB&T checking account and $1.9 million at the South Carolina Local Government Investment Pool. That money's earning about between 1% and 2% lately. A small amount of accounts payable. Total fund balance of $2 million. Moving on, Ron, to the next page, the revenue page. We've received 3 of the 4 quarterly payments from the state. And year-to-date interest income. So 1.2 million so far this year. On the expenditure side, 64,000 in total spent on the public restroom operations. We're well within budget. Go back one, Ron. Yeah, so beach barrels, so the Front Beach Business District and beachside trash pickup is paid for here. Again, within budget. Irrigation at Breach Inlet. Yellow drums to supplement the city's inventory of those along the beach accesses, and then the website maintenance. All are within budget. 4,000 spent year to date on the t-shirt promo. Incidentally, that has been suspended temporarily due to COVID-19, but as soon as possible, that will be opened back up again. The Charleston CVB 30% payment, that's the 30% of the state quarterly payments that we send to the CVB. Some costs associated with the 2019 4th of July fireworks. No costs yet on the 2020 fireworks, and that show has been suspended for a year, so we won't have that expense in 2020. At the bottom of the page is there was a lightning strike at the rec center, so some of the budgeted money set aside to replace or add playground equipment was used to repair those lights. The only expense on this page is the sponsorship of the Isle of Palms Connector Run. That is an October race, so that's already happened. The Isle of Palms Beach Run is annually in July, and that sponsorship will happen. That'll be a June expense. That event is going to go on. The music in the park and the Easter egg hunt event were canceled due to COVID-19. A small amount on signs for the holiday light displays. Those are the sponsorship signs. No spending so far on the public ad campaign related to litter control and the plastics ban. And also no spending so far this year on the salary and fringes for one of 27 police officers, but that transfer will happen in June. A small amount for police body armor offset by a grant from the city's insurance carrier. Purchase of 2 police patrol vehicles. And repairs to the public safety building. And then debt service, the first principal payment on the new 75-foot ladder truck, which the city received this year. Go back one, Ron, I'm sorry. The bottom item on this page is the refurbishment of the 95-foot ladder truck. That might happen at the end of June, or it might happen in July. But that truck is out and being worked on as we speak. The fire department replaced a thermal imaging camera. That was per budget. Spending has not happened yet on the ATV replacement, but I think that's going to happen in June. This is the fire piece of the public safety building. Rehabilitation, salaries and fringes for 2 of 34 fire personnel. Again, we haven't made that transfer yet, but will happen in June. And then replacement of the public works generator, $10,000. Again, so far, everything that I've talked about on the expense side has been within budget. Finally, this last page includes sponsorships that the committee has approved. $5,000 for the Lavello bike ride, $8,000 for the production of Osceola's Muse that happened on Sullivan's Island, and a little over $6,000 related to the Isle of Palms Exchange Club Turtle Hatchling Scavenger.
Information for all the employees.
Are there any questions on the May statements?
No.
No.
I went through those very fast, and I'm happy to go back and talk about anything. If there aren't any questions, is it time to talk about the budget?
Move on to the next item.
Okay. Next on the agenda is old business review and consideration FY21 A-tax budget.
Okay, hopefully.
Okay, can y'all hear me?
Yes.
Yep.
All right, hopefully you all received an email version, a PDF of the 2021 budget. I will say right off the top that we had to redo the revenue projections for both the current year and FY21 due to COVID-19. We're expecting some pretty significant declines. Very significant was our first projection, but as you all know, once we opened up, tourism activity quickly commenced. And so we reevaluated, and our draft 4 budget, which is what we're reviewing today, is much closer to a normal year for FY21. But just to put it in perspective, the revenues for FY21 budget is 1.459 million. So right at 1.5 million. The budget for FY20 was 1.9 million. So we're coming down about $400,000 on the revenue projections. Expenses, we are funding from state aid tax approximately the same things that we funded in the past. So I'll just go down the line from the budget document. General government, water and sewer, non-capital tools and equipment. Those are things that we would typically see budgeted and that are included in the list that we just went through. The $600 is the breach inlet water. Non-capital tools and equipment, that $1,000 is related to maintaining or replacing benches at Carmen R. Bunch Park. Programs and sponsorships, the budget is 42.5. That's where we would normally budget the fireworks show. But again, that is not going to happen in FY20, or in FY21, which would be July of 20. Also in FY21, in response to the reduction in revenues, we reduced the $50,000 we normally set aside as a provision for the committee to approve different applications. We took it from $50,000 to $25,000. The tourism promotion expense, we maintained budgets for the t-shirt promotion and for the VC3 website costs. The remainder portion of that line item relates to the CVB contribution, and that is directly proportionate to the state revenues. So to the extent the state revenues are down, the contributions to the CVB are also down. In police, there's $7,000 for body armor as needed. And capital outlay of $307,000. That includes 1 patrol SUV replacement, 1 license plate reader for island-wide parking enforcement, and $216,000 in public safety repair costs. So the project to repair the public safety building is covering 2 fiscal years. Some of that, that project is underway now. The amount that's in the budget for next year is what we estimate will come from state aid tax next year. In total, the state aid tax fund, and I believe I've got this right, is contributing $1 million to the public safety repair project. But that $1 million is split between police and fire and between FY20 and FY21 budgets. For the fire department, there is the debt service associated with the new truck. When we were talking about current year expenditures, we had made the first lease payment on that truck. This is the budget for the second year. And when I say lease payments, when the city does a lease for a piece of equipment, it's not your traditional lease like you or I would get a car lease. This is a financing mechanism. There's, I think we financed the truck over 10 years. It has a principal and interest component, but we currently have the title to the truck. It is our asset. What's called a lease is more easily understandable as just a vanilla loan. And the interest rate is very good. I think it is below 2% on that debt. The other item in the fire department budget for FY21 is capital outlay, $323,000. That includes the replacement of one personal watercraft, one ATV, that's the vehicle that goes up and down the beach, 25% of a pumper truck refurbishment, and the repeat of the 216 public safety building repair cost that I'd mentioned above in the police department. So that's all in fire. Going to public works. There's $7,500 for the annual provision to purchase and paint the yellow beach trash barrels. And then capital outlay in public works is $40,000 relating to 1/3 of the cost to replace a 2003 Mack flatbed truck. That's what they use for debris removal. Recreation, $5,000. Again, that's the kind of the placeholder to replace or add playground equipment as needed, playground equipment and/or scoreboards. And then under special activities or the sponsorships or the different events, there's $7,500 for the connector run, $4,500 for the Easter egg hunt, $4,000 for the music event, and that adds up to $9,000 worth of special activities in the rec department. And then the final piece of the budget is $129,000 associated with the front beach restrooms and the trash pickup contract. That wasn't the final thing. Then transfers out of the state aid tax fund into the general fund. Again, as we've done in FY20 and previous years, we're transferring out funds for 1 to 3, I think it's 2 firefighters, 1 police officer, and 50% of the beach service officers. Those are the usually college age students that work during the summer. FY21 also includes 75% of the annual debt service on a marina dock bond that we anticipate issuing in FY21 to fund the replacement of the marina docks. So, any questions on the budget?
No.
No, ma'am.
Here,
I would ask that we get a vote, yay or nay, on the budget. Just to recap, the revenues are $1.45 million, and the expenses are $1.5 million of expenses and $583,000 worth of transfers out. So the budget indicates that the fund will have more expenditures than revenues by $629,000. But that's possible because we currently have projected to have $1.3 million in fund balance at the end of this year. So we can have that hit to the fund balance in FY21 and still have approximately $724,000 in the bank. You'll recall that we talked about how the COVID-19 has significantly impacted revenues, tourism revenues in general, and state A-tax revenues in particular. So while we are going below $1 million in fund balance in FY21, we expect to be back up to $2 million in fund balance by FY25. So all the city's funds are taking a little bit of a hit in FY21, or we forecast that they will. Hopefully we'll end up better than we think, which we typically do, but we budget conservatively, meaning we budget on the low side on revenues and the high side on expenditures, and it normally works out pretty well, and history has shown that to be true. So again, we'll take a hit in FY21, but we should recover quickly. And I'm happy to dig into any of those expenditures or talk more about revenues if y'all want to.
Debbie, what you just went over, that's a proposal of 2021, right?
Right, that's our best estimate of what revenues and expenditures are going to be for 2021. But we certainly hope that things will end up better. Generally speaking, budget-wide, we assumed a 25% decline in FY21 over basically FY19. Normally, we would have projected an increase because we typically see a little bit more revenue every year on the accommodation side, either because of higher utilization or higher rates. And we also have that brand new hotel going up in Wild Dunes, right? So we would normally project an uptick in A-tax revenue just associated with that new hotel coming online. But we're trying to be conservative. So again, we're somewhat lowballing revenues, but we don't know what's going to happen, right? The second wave or, what the winter will bring. So we're trying to be conservative.
So Debbie, you need a vote from us to accept the proposal?
Yes, to accept the proposed budget. That would be great.
Okay. I would like a motion to make a motion to accept this budget proposal for 2021. Do I have a second?
A second, Julie.
Thank you.
So we have a motion and a second.
Did we get the second?
Yeah, Julie's.
Julie,
Okay.
does everybody want to unmute themselves and vote? That's voting. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Malcolm, aye.
Malcolm says aye. Julise? Julise, are you and I or
Yes, I second
Aye.
it. Yes.
Margaret, are you in favor or opposed of the proposed budget? You have to take yourself off mute.
If you're on an iPad, there should be a button in the top right-hand corner that looks like a microphone.
You have 4, so that's enough to pass it.
Rusty, did you vote?
He did.
Yes.
Oh, okay. So I need to say that.
You're 4 in favor right now. I just can't get Mrs. Miller's vote unless she unmutes herself.
All right, sorry, I had to step away for a second. I'm good with it. I approve.
Okay, thank you. All in favor?
Aye.
Yep, very good. I mean, everyone's in favor. Yes, ma'am.
Are we moving on now?
On to the new business.
Okay, new business. Consideration of a sponsorship request from the South Carolina Aquarium in the amount of $10,000 for the 2020 Turtle Trek 5K Sunset Beach Run to take place Saturday, October 10th, 2020. Do we have anyone speaking for South Carolina Aquarium?
Hi, yes. How are you?
Okay.
I'm Stephanie. I do all of our fundraising events for the South Carolina Aquarium, and I came up with this run concept about 5 years ago. So we've been working with you guys since the very beginning in the city on this. So for those of you who are new, the Turtle Trek is our 5th year. We've sold out every year. It's a very, very popular event. And it's our only fundraising event that's really geared towards promoting like sea turtle and beach conservation messaging. So we have a beach sweep before the run takes off. We have a kids fun run. We have a 5K and an after party. So we usually have almost all the participants join us for the beach sweep. So it's a really good opportunity to educate. We have about ages 2 to 80 years old participate. So we're able to hit a very broad range of ages with this run. And all of the proceeds support our Sea Turtle Care Center. We usually raise about $75,000, and all of that supports our daily operations, food, medicine, treatment. Just this year alone, we've gotten in 16 new turtles. So we have a full house with 21, and we've released 296 to date. So they've been coming in daily for various reasons, you know, boat strikes, strandings, shark attacks, a lot of hook and line lately. So, and one of the unique things about this run as well, we bring in a lot of people from different states and different counties. So I think 2% of the runners are from Isle of Palm, and the rest is from a different city and state. But we've been lucky enough to have your support the last 4 years. So we're hoping that you'll continue the sponsorship. It helps us tremendously with this event and our Sea Turtle Care Center.
Well, thank you, Stephanie. Do I have a motion to approve the sponsorship of $10,000 for the Turtle Trek?
I
Julie, so.
got a question.
To approve.
If Ms. Julie's made a motion to approve and we have a second, then we can discuss it.
All right.
Who wants to do the second?
I'll do the second.
All right, go ahead and have your discussions however you like.
Are we a named sponsor in this event?
That is totally up to you. We'd be happy to recognize you as a named sponsor and give you visibility on our signage, our ads, t-shirts, and all of that. So
Yeah, I think for $10,000, it's worth it to have our name out there.
certainly, we'd be happy to do that. We were approached by the Charleston County Parks this year. They felt like this event was so successful. They really want to partner with us closer, and they've asked for named, or not named, but they want to have some sponsor recognition this year as well, which they've declined in the past. So we'd be happy to put your logo on all of our marketing items, which this event does offer a lot of visibility, which is great.
Okay, I'm good with that.
That was a very good suggestion, Rusty.
And we'd be happy to give you guys some complimentary run registrations or offer a discount code to Isle of Palm residents. You know, we're open to all ideas, so.
Are we ready to move on to the next one?
You have a vote? You want to vote for it? You have a motion and a second. Is everybody in favor of that?
Aye.
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 Mr. Burgess, would you like to take yourself off mute and vote? You have to take yourself off mute.
Aye.
Thank you. All in favor?
Thank you.
All right, moving on to the second consideration for a sponsorship request from the Carolina Coast Surf Club in the amount of $1,000 for advertising and promotion of tourism through SurfCam, including a link to the Isle of Palms website for beach access, parking, and traffic information. Do we have any questions about the sponsorship?
No.
You have a motion to approve?
I so move.
I second.
Okay. If there are no questions, you want to go ahead and take a vote? All in favor?
All in favor?
Aye.
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 Very good. All in favor. Thank you.
So I believe
And
the
the-
next thing is the next meeting date, which will be to be determined.
The date of the next meeting, I assume, will be determined at a later time, unless you want to try and set one today. I'm good with setting it at a later time when we get a quorum.
Well, we have a quorum now, but we can set it at a later date when we have everybody on the same line or
Oh,
you know,
okay.
via email or something.
Okay,
As long as we notify the public and the media in accordance with FOIA, we can set the meeting for whenever we need to.
okay. Well, if anyone has no other questions and we feel that we've addressed all of the business that we needed to, this meeting is adjourned. Thank you.
Need a motion to
Thank you.
adjourn?
Motion to adjourn.
Adjourn.
All right. Who wants to second that?
Second.
Okay, thank you. And you're off record at 2:39.
Thank you.
Thank you.